Shalom, family. All praises to the Most High and His only begotten Son. Long live the King. This Octi coming back with a real quick chop session or whatever on a topic that's been kind of spreading out here lately. Mm. And from the little research that I done on it, what I done found out was it's a lot of Israelite camps out here that teach this, and the topic is wearing fringes sin. That's the topic at hand or whatever. And you can't find that nowhere in the scripture. Nowhere in the scripture will you find a law or anything indicating that wearing fringes or tassels is transgression of God's law, or you know what I'm saying, breaking the covenant. Uh you know what I'm saying? This ain't a session to get on here and burn bread and throw rocks and hide my hands. As you can see, this is going up on the YouTube, a national platform where whoever want to see it can see it. And we don't do no hiding around here. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Brothers know who I am. I know who they are. They know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but a little sword swinging. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand this. Doing sword swinging, feelings do get hurt, and people get in their feelings about things. Um, but we gonna deal with it real quick chop session. I ain't gonna be before you long. I'm gonna start this out in 2 Timothy chapter 3, because when it comes to this scripture, now I'm gonna start it off at 1 Peter chapter 4. Let's go there first. Because when it comes to this scripture, I don't care who you are or how long you've been in this walk. You know what I'm saying? It says don't add or don't take, or you know what I'm saying? Don't add or don't take away from the scripture. Lest he reprove, then you be found a liar. So that's scripture. That's Proverbs chapter 30. But right now we in 1 Peter 4, and I'm picking up at verse 11. It says, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yah. And if any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth him, that God in all things may be glorified through Christ, to whom be the praise and dominion forever. So he said, if any man is going to speak, or if any man is going to come out and say something, it needs to be according to the word of the Most High, not your own rules. The Most High ain't gave nobody no authority to make up their own rules. I don't care how long you've been teaching, how long you've been in this walk, 40, 60, 80 years, 5 years, it don't matter. You don't supersede the scriptures. Let's go to Titus chapter 2. Titus chapter 2, and we're gonna read one verse right here. Page is sticking together on me. Excuse me. Titus chapter 2, and we're going to read one verse here. It says, but speak thou the things which become sound doctrine. So again, we see, speak only those things which you can go in this scripture and read. You know what I'm saying? Not because you see certain brothers out here with fringes on that's acting unruly, so you feel like that's sin. Because you see that's why it's sin. Don't make no sense. Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3. 2 Timothy chapter 3, and we're going to get one verse. Just laying the groundwork, you know what I'm saying? Just setting the scene, setting a couple of rules in place. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're dealing with this scripture and you don't set the rules in place, then that leaves the door open for anybody to bring any type of doctrine in. So this 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16, all scripture is given by inspiration of Yah, and is profitable or useful for doctrine, reproof, correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Yah may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works, right? So nobody's above correction, right? Not even me, nobody, all right? So now the whole thing is being said that is wearing fringes a sin. Is it? Is it a sin? Well, we finna find out. Let's find out what sin is first, according to the scripture. And this 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. Right? For sin is the transgression of the law. So the first question should be asked. If wearing fringes or wearing tassels is transgression of the law, we should be able to go in the Torah or anywhere in these scriptures and find a law that says thou shalt not wear fringes. We should be able to go in the scripture and find that. Right? We read in first Peter 4:11, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God, right? So that would be the first question that I would pose. You know what I'm saying? And really ain't heard a thorough breakdown on it. But from what I do know, any of you brothers that believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, they use Jeremiah 31 to say, since the laws are written on our mind, that if we wear fringes, we not giving credence or proper respect to the new covenant. So we should be able to go in the scripture and find that as well, right? But let's go to Numbers 15. And we're gonna deal with that a little later in the lesson. Let's go to Numbers 15. We're gonna go straight to the account. This is Numbers 15, verse 32, about the Sabbath breaker picking up sticks. Right, so this is why this law of fringes was added. Okay, and it says, and while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day, and they found him gathering sticks, and they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation, and they put him in ward because it was not declared what should be done to him. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones. And he died, as the Lord commanded Moses. Now, as the Lord commanded Moses, right? Verse 37, and the Lord spake unto Moses. It's still the Lord talking. It says, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they may make fringes in the borders of their garment throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. So this is the Lord giving the law of fringes. So my next question would be, why would the Lord put something in that he would later declare sin? That's the next question. So the Most High implemented sin. The Most High no longer has the knowledge to know, you know what I'm saying, what he's putting down is law, or is Torah. Don't make no sense. So verse 39, it says, and it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring, right? And it says, that ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God. I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God. Let's go get the precept. Deuteronomy 22 and 12. Deuteronomy 22 and 12, it says, thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself. So we see that it was the Lord, Yahweh, the Most High, that put the law of fringes in. And he's commanding us to put them on. But we have man saying that it's a sin to put them on. Right? So, like I said, I can only deal with what I know. The breakdown, as far as I know, is that they use Jeremiah chapter 31. Let's go there. So, the whole question should be asked. Let's just go and put it out there. Does Jeremiah 31 give anybody ammunition or the right to say that since the new covenant is in, anyone wearing fringes is sinning? Is that what Jeremiah 31 is saying? Because we're going to go through some scriptures, about 4-5 of them actually, way before Jeremiah 31 was penned, showing you that the servants of Yah always got the law on their mind. So Jeremiah gives nobody leeway or any room to say that now under the new covenant, since they written in your mind that wearing fringes is sin. Okay. So let's go to Jeremiah 31 and pick it up at verse 31. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they broke, although I was a husband unto them, said the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquities, and I will remember their sin no more. Now, that verse 34, is that going on today? No. Because of all the YouTube lessons, we still teaching Israel. So we in transition into the new covenant, but we understand what this scripture is saying is that when the new covenant fully comes in, that the Torah will be so a part of our nature, we would no longer have to teach Israel, each other, about the Most High. That's not happening right now. That's not happening right now. And the precept to this would be Hebrews chapter 8. So we need to find anywhere after Hebrews 8 where it says, during the new covenant, wearing fringes is sin. We can even go in the scripture and show you where the Messiah wore the fringe. The lady with the issue of blood came and grabbed the hem of his garment. You look that word up in the concordance, it says fringe. And then you go to Galatians 4:4, talking about the Messiah. He was born of a woman, made under the law, meaning he was subject to every jot and tittle of the Torah while he walked this earth. So yes, the Messiah wore fringes. There go your two precepts to prove it. Okay, and even when Israel is all gathered, Zechariah chapter 8:23 straight up tell you the nation's gonna come take a hold of our skirt. What was commanded to be put on the borders of our garments and skirts? The fringe. So what are the other nations grabbing a hold to? Our law. See, this is what, you know what I'm saying? People want to come out with these doctrines, not realizing what they saying. And like the elders say, man, it's just a lack of studying. But like I said, I touched on it a couple of minutes ago. Yah's laws are forever supposed to be on the heart of the righteous. And we finna prove that with a couple of places. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 30. Deuteronomy chapter 30. I'm going to pick it up at verse 11. We're going to read 11 through 14. Deuteronomy chapter 30, 11 through 14. For this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, Who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, Who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? Now, verse 14 is key. It says, But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, and in thine heart, that thou mayest do it. Psalms chapter 37. Psalms chapter 37. Psalms chapter 37. Because the scripture says, the Torah tell you that out of the mouth of two or three or more witnesses, let every matter be established. So that's not saying you find a couple of scriptures with the same word, bro. Them not precepts. Them not precepts. It's two or three or more scriptures that paint the same picture. Those are precepts, line upon line, meaning keeping everything in its context. Precept upon precept, meaning forever, whatever two witnesses you got, it should be a precept, a statute, or a law that goes along with it. That's what the scripture says. We read in Titus 2, speak those things which become sound doctrine. Got to be covered from all sides, north, south, east, and west. Can't nobody say, well, what about this? Your flank can't be, if anybody can come and prick at it and find holes in it, it's not sound doctrine. Let's just call it what it is. It's a false doctrine. Let's just call it what it is. And if it ain't a false doctrine and you can't find it in the scriptures, then what is it? What is it? Psalms chapter 37. Psalms chapter 37, I'm picking up at verse 27 and read through 30. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. Check out verse 30. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh judgment. Verse 31. The law of his God is in his heart. Now, that's two places before Jeremiah 31 was penned. Telling you, showing you that the true servants of Yah, don't matter we wearing fringes or not, the laws is always on our mind. You got Moses vouching for it, and here you have David vouching for it, but we not done. Let's go read another scripture out of Psalms 119. We're going to read one verse, verse 11. Psalms 119 and verse 11. And now this is before Jeremiah 31. So Jeremiah 31 gives nobody leeway to say that under the new covenant, if you still wearing fringes, you not showing credence to the new covenant. Every time the covenant, the Most High said Israel broke his covenant, laws was broken right behind it. He tell you, they broke my covenant. They did not obey my commandments. They did not give respect to my honor to my statutes. They broke my covenant. So like I said, we talking about sin, bruh. If we talking about sin, right? You gotta, the scripture is very definitive on what it is, because sin is something that the Most High hates. So you have to be aware of what the Most High hates if you're gonna be a true servant of the Most High. You think the Most High gonna put any gray area around what he hates? That gives you an excuse on Judgment Day. Well, Lord, it was just a lot of gray area around this scripture, so I feel like I shouldn't be Nah, it's gonna be without excuse, right? And like I said, if we talking about sin, bro, that's transgression of the law. We're at in the 613. Find the law. I'm still waiting. Psalms 119 and verse 11. Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. Wow. Proverbs chapter 7. One verse. Now, 1 through 3. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Now, where you gonna lay the commandments up at? Verse 2. Keep my commandments and live, and my law is the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Again, another place before Jeremiah 31. That's 3 places. But we not done. Isaiah 51. 4 places, 4 witnesses. Isaiah 51 and verse 7, one verse. Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their revelings. Job chapter 22, verse 22. Job chapter 22, verse 22. Even Job knew, right? Right? And all this, like I said, all this is before Jeremiah 31. All this is before Jeremiah 31. Job chapter 22, verse 22. Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart. Wow. So that's what we had. Deuteronomy 30, 11 through 14. That's one. Psalms 37, 27 through 30, that's 2. Psalms 119, verse 11, that's 3. Proverbs 7, 1 through 3, that's 4. Isaiah 51 and 7, that's 5. Job 22 and 22, that's 6 witnesses, 6 precepts, right? To go along with Deuteronomy 22 and 12, and Numbers 15 as well, right? So, as I was saying, Jeremiah 31 is no excuse or gives anybody leeway to say that Fringes is sin. That indeed, my friend, is a false doctrine. And the last place that I'm going to go is Romans chapter 4, and I'm going to read one verse here, and that is verse 15. And that is verse 15, because we, like you said, they and don't get it twisted. This ain't me putting nobody out here, because this doctrine been out here. And understand this, when you put out anything on the internet, especially if you call yourself a teacher and you put out false doctrine, you put yourself out there. Just because you hear a brother speak on it, speak out, and some things ruffle your feathers a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That ain't no reason for anybody to get in their feelings. Hey, like I said at the beginning of this video, we swordsmen, right? Let's swing swords then. Let's swing swords. And for any of you brothers that got a problem, protocol has been followed. You know what I'm saying? Brothers have been pulled to the side. You see what I'm saying? But proud spirits, man. Proud spirits. But anyway, Romans 4 and 15, it says, because the law worketh wrath. For where no law is, there is no transgression. It's simple as that. Now, you want to talk adultery. I can go straight into Torah, Leviticus 20, show you a law for adultery. You want to talk about bestiality, I can go straight up in Leviticus chapter 18 and show you that. Homosexuality, pork eating, I can go to Leviticus 11. There's a law for it. There's no law that says wearing fringes is sin. I said it twice. I will say it again. That indeed is a false doctrine. Shalom, family.